All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the MBO bundle, Ask Me Anything, or AMA webinar here. We have Vadim, also Scott Pulcini's in the room. He was invited to come over and with his group, and maybe he would also share some thoughts or had some questions. But it's a Q&A session here, and you guys can ask questions in the chat. Or we can maybe even open the mic for a few of you guys. Anyway, got to go through some things in here, and why we're doing this to begin with is because we're having this trading competition right now. It just started this morning at 9:30 cash open East Coast time, and it will run until the 12th of December at market close. Why we're going over the MBO bundle in detail here is to answer your questions, and we're giving it to you for free for the competition. So you can kind of kick the tires, try this out. We've had many requests over some years now about being able to try out the MBO bundle and see what it's like, and give it kind of a test run. So what you're getting in this competition, it's only for the competition for the next couple of days, is the stops and icebergs on chart, also in the sub chart, the Trader Map Pro filter for the heat map, the Market Pulse Algo Suite. So God, I don't even know how many algos we have in there now. I think it's probably close to 20. And we also have the liquidity tracker. This is all part of the MBO bundle you get for free during this competition. And we have some specials going on that can maybe, if you like using Bookmap and you find this to be a good experience, you can get Global Plus for $39.60. Right now it's the Cyber Monday special. It will end December 12th. It's 60% off for the first month only. Does not include any data. But for the competition, at least, you're going to get free data for the next couple of days. And then all week here, we're going to be going through Pro Trader webinar, MBO bundles, or how to read the MBO data and indicators in Bookmap. All right, so we've been going through it the last few days. And this all coincides with this special we're offering for the MBO bundle. So it just started today as well. We wanted to give this time off, or this, this percentage off, 50% for the first month, because you guys requested access, and then we just coincided very nicely with our competition. So we thought, well, we'll just give it to you for free, try it out for the competition, see how you like it, and if you like it, then you have this offer, so take advantage of it. All right, so anyway, to get it, go to bookmap.com. And then you'll see it here on the home page right on the top. You explore these deals and then scroll down a bit and you'll see the deal here. Okay, so 50% off. This is a great deal. Give it a try. See what you think. All right, read through the details there. All right, general disclosure. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in here. Let's take a look at the markets and in the competition here. Maybe we'll start with the ES, but we have the NQ and the Russell, which are all part of the competition as well. All right, so if you have any questions on any of them, let us know, and we can take a look. Earlier today in the webinar on that I hosted, we went through a setup for this competition that you can consider using. And that was using this setups checklist add-on here. Okay, so I'm just opening it up. And you can see I've added it in here. And as promised, I was going to give you guys the list here. So let's go in here. Let's import my, it was setups checklist. And I have it NQ bounce. There it is. Okay. So this is what I put together. This is best for the NQ. That's why I called it NQ bounce. It will work in other markets, but as I was mentioning in the NQ, when it trades into high liquidity levels, we typically get a nice little bounce. When you combine that with these values here, high time frame level, high liquidity, and icebergs at that level transacting, and you can grade each of these in here when you click on it. And do you have this in the list? Give it a grade, give it a score. Large stop run, okay, and market pulse extreme. I mean, these are really good confluences in here. When these all align in here, you've got quite a nice little setup. CVD extreme. Start to add these in, and then consider the entry on after opposite volume enters the market, and then take profit in front of high liquidity on the other side of the range or wherever it is. Okay, I'll put this grading together as you go through it. If it's an 8 or better, that's when you want to pull the trigger. All right, so take a look at that and use this this add-on in here. And here is the list. I will dump this into the chat for you guys, or here I guess I'll just dump the I can just dump the text in there. Okay. Dan, maybe you can, I don't know where the chat is for this one, so maybe you can put it into the chat. Hold on a minute. Up. Okay, now I lost it. Okay, just a second.
Bruce, maybe I can help you. So what do you want to do?
No, I'm just trying to find the TXT I just had, or the CSV file I just had. And I've got it here. Just need to put it into the chat for you guys. Okay. Yeah. Q ounce. Okay, Dan, I'm going to give it to you. And maybe you can, I keep leaning hard on Dan for a lot of things. Thank you, Dan. All right, so I just wanted to cover that for you guys, and we can go through this tomorrow or later today, etc. But we have Vadim here to answer your questions on how to use the stops and icebergs and market pulse and these other add-ons. So please get your questions in, and we got Scott in here. Let's turn the mic on for Scott as well, and start to look at maybe some possible use case scenarios that might lead into some really good questions in here. Like, for example, look at this here in the ES. So we are down at lows of the day in here, and look at the icebergs that are starting to mount in here. Okay, here's 200, 1600, 200. Here's another 400 here, and then 222 are still in the market here at this 60.54 and a quarter. So we have a lot of icebergs transacting down here. That's a lot of buying. We have a lot of high liquidity on the bid on the way down. We have stop runs on the way down as well, people getting stopped out. All we're looking for now, and this is the same setup I just shared with you, is we even have a market pulse extreme here at these levels here. We're looking for buyers to start to come in on the opposite side and take it up into high liquidity up in these areas here for starters. All right, so and you can probably hear it here in market pulse as well. I'm going to mute it. This is something to take a look at. Scott, I'm wondering, like, if there's a certain kind of setup that maybe you're looking at the moment that you would like to kind of cover in here.
You hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I share my screen or?
Sure, if you want. And yeah,
I got the zone jar. It's kind of easier to see all these icebergs that are coming in here.
sure. Okay, let me stop sharing. Or yeah,
I think I can just grab
yeah, you
it.
can start sharing. There you go. And then I will reshare your stream here. There we go. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see here, this is see market pulse. Somebody's selling this very aggressively. Again, I have my this is the volume pressure imbalance. I have mine set for an hour, so this is showing the most selling in the last hour, and they're running into mouthfuls of high ice here. So very important areas, especially spot gamma wise and Mentor Q wise. I'm using these levels here, where the dealers are going to be hedging as well. But you can see these here. So someone's coming in here, but I did take one of my new trading strategies called the Sexy Gexy, where you're taking, it's actually auto trade. So if anyone who's watched my million webinars I've done, I usually wait, and I still do this for most of my trading strategies. I wait for the market to push an ATR plus out to enter the trade. For this particular strategy, it's a great R strategy, risk reward strategy, where the minute I hear these events firing off at important options levels, spot gamma and or Mentor Q levels, and you can see my Mentor Q levels that are now available as well. You see them all on here. You're going to be getting dealer hedging at these areas, right? So dealers are not the only entity in the market, obviously, but there's not a question whether they're going to be hedging. They are not positional traders, so when it hits these areas, they're going to be participating. So, more times than not, the market will just immediately respond here. A lot of traders just trade these levels just blindly. I demand a volume event because it's the most important thing that I think you can look at in futures trading. So if I get these events at these levels, I'm just jumping in the trade right in the middle of the zone. Again, I only have one other trading strategy. I call it auto trade, auto entry, where I get in right away. And it's a great risk reward trade. So anyway, I do have a long there. On the flip side, I'm long there for, again, this is not for, well, it could be both, right? So a lot of these guys are taking these trades at these areas and they get out on the first pop up because it's the dealer's hedging, right? But when you get the volume event there, now there's also this activity here. So these sellers here, if this as it starts to move away, are in trouble, and then that leads to a bigger move in itself. So the way I'm trading this right now, it's a brand new trading strategy. I'm getting in right away. I'll get out of one at the ATR because the markets have a tendency to pop back, come back to the zone, and it's just a quick trade, and it's still a good risk reward because I'm in the middle of the zone, and then I'll try to let one run. As far as structure, though, these markets do not look healthy. It looks like they're going to zero. Hypothetically, just kidding, but short term, it does not look promising, right? So you had this balance from yesterday. You had that try to break down. It held where it should have held if it's going to remain bearish, and then you built more balance today, and that's breaking down below this balance here, and then you're breaking through, or it's hovering at the high volume node of this. So if this area breaks, this could be a bigger move over the next day, 2 or 3. So the way I trade, so that's just a guess, right? I'm just guessing what's going to happen based on market structure. This market can turn around and do that. I have no idea. That's why I use real-time volume events to guide me into what to do. But if I start getting bearish events, so for instance, if this area does break, I'm going to be trading shorts double size based on my thesis. So I am long the strategy right here at these areas, at these spot gamma levels. But if this breaks down and stops me out, fine. Then I'm going to be trading this particular event to the short side because it still hasn't validated as a long per my rules, meaning get an AT out of here. And if I get that type of action, I'm going to be trading this aggressively to the short side. First move out for some of the strategies. Either way, I'm trading double size because when I get a volume event, something that's happening right now in line with my thesis, I trade double size. And you got the same thing here with NASDAQ too. NASDAQ looks even worse as far as what's going on. This is already basically starting to break down. So this market looks horrendous, especially after what happened today. We covered this on my trading webinar this morning. It did this failed balance breakout. This thing should have ripped off the page. Instead, it put in 2 different buying tails. I actually got short this market up here at the time, and then it came down for more balance today, over the morning, and now it's breaking down, and there's nothing here as far as structure down to here. So I'm not saying it's coming there today, but this is not looking promising. Again, these equities always find a way to rally over nothing, but I'm still, structure wise, this looks like it's going to be killed. So what does that mean? It probably will. The odds are it will. Don't know, but and then I use my real time volume then, so you can see here's a stop run. So if this puppy turns bearish, I will take an aggressive short here. This is a trading strategy called the pick. So this is moving on. Sorry for the garbage truck indicator. That usually means the markets are going to sell off. By the way, if when the garbage truck comes around. So you can see here we're breaking out of this market profile composite. So I have a specific trading strategy for that, where you get the event as it breaks it down, and I take that aggressively. So if this continues lower off of the stop run, I'm going to take a pick short at 04 quarter. Here's my size. This is the zone drawer, by the way. You can get in the Bookmap marketplace. My stop's up here, and I'm going to be trading double size shorts based on my thesis. So that's a long-winded answer for what I'm saying right now.
Yeah. So
more importantly, do you like the new indicator? It's not part of the MBO bundle yet, the garbage truck indicator. Do you like that one or no?
what is it exactly?
You can't hear the garbage truck going by and being outside my window.
Oh, I did hear that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
It was a
I
joke.
wasn't following the joke. Okay, got it.
So yeah, because it was so loud. So the one day actually I had a new trader in there and I said garbage truck indicator, and the guy really thought it was an indicator. So that's why I was saying it. But,
Hey, I'm pretty
you're
easy.
a little slow for the joke.
I'm a little slow. I'm easy to fool. I imagine that you probably even like you could record the garbage truck and put it into your market pulse if you wanted. How about that?
Yeah, you can record your own sounds for that, right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Listen, Scott. I mean, sounds great. I mean, looks great. You nailed it. You had some really great trades here. What I wanted to do on this webinar was not only go over like the benefits and kind of setups that you see. I also wanted to open this up in terms of a Q&A with Vadim, because we've got both of you on here, and we've got a lot of people using this indicator now. It's free for the moment. They can use it for the competition. So I wanted to get a really healthy discussion going here using this indicator or different settings. Maybe you had some questions on some of these things, or maybe Vadim can maybe show you some tips and tricks, or something. I don't know. If there was something that was kind of bothering you wanted to us to take a look at.
Which indicator?
Any of them here, but from the MBO bundle, basically.
I have one question, by the way. Yeah, if you allow me. So I saw you are not using like TraderMap Pro and TraderMap Lite, and you have a lot of these market maker bots there. So my question is, why are you not using like TraderMap Pro to filter those out? So it will make your chart much simpler from my perspective.
I just haven't had a chance. I mean, I know you guys have offered it. I just haven't had a chance to switch over yet. I know I do have that download on my. I said I had a chance to put it in, and as well as the TraderMap Pro. I did have that a while ago, and then there was some problem with it right when you guys released it, and then I haven't added it back on. But yeah, those are all things. Especially TraderMap Pro is very important. You can see where this liquidity is, and we've done a couple webinars on that as well. As far as the TraderMap, this doesn't bother me seeing it like this, but I guess. How are you guys filter? I mean, I can see the bots in here. Obviously, the more light make this. But so, how are you determining what's a liquidity bot versus normal?
Yeah, the math behind that is pretty complex. But I can just simplify this. So we track the number of changes of these orders in these orders. So how frequently they chase the price, basically the BBO lines. And if it chase like pretty frequent, we just remove this order from the heat map. And after this filtration, the heat map become much simpler, and it is clear where it is like real liquidity on the chart. So I highly recommend using this TraderMap Pro or TraderMap Lite at least. And we have 3 advanced filters for TraderMap Lite right now. And of course, with TraderMap Pro, you can have like flexible configuration for those parameters of those filters. So I highly recommend this. So this chart could be much better.
Just a note, Scott, about this. There is one kind of caveat here is the stops and icebergs on chart is available, no problem. The sub chart one though is kind of problematic at the moment. I know that
Right.
developers are working on it.
Yeah, so we are working on the next version of stops and icebergs on chart and sub chart, and our goal is to combine those two add-ons into one add-on. So it will be more aligned, like detections on the chart will be more aligned with the sub chart, and so on. So and it will be possible to use also like both of those indicators on chart and sub chart on copies, on TraderMap Pro copy, TraderMap Lite copy, like instrument copy chart, and so on.
There's a question from my trade room. SI chart doesn't work with TraderMap Lite, does it? Is that what you just covered, Bruce? SI on chart?
The on chart does work.
Yep.
It does.
So
Yes.
Yeah, because
basically,
he's asking because these zones are derived from the on chart information that.
right.
Yeah.
So we did these improvements like a few months ago for the stops and on chart, and the released version already has this improvement. So basically, we detect stops and icebergs on the original chart. So detections are based on the not filtered data, and then we apply. So we plot those icons, detections on the copy, on the TraderMap Lite or TraderMap Pro copy. So the detections, we keep detections accurate, and you can plot it on top of the filtered chart.
So Scott,
Cool.
if you want, why don't you right now, if you can bring up just the book map with the that has the main toolbar on it. If you want to bring that up, and we can show you how to do this. Okay, so all right, so go to your NASDAQ, or I'm sorry, pop your NASDAQ back in here. I'm sorry to do that. Yeah, pop it back in. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, there's your NASDAQ. Okay, now go to your add-ons. There you go. And then go down to the, okay, so there's TraderMap Lite there, but don't put in TraderMap. Let's go through the TraderMap Pro. It's up a little bit higher there. Yeah, right there. There you go. Okay. So yeah, select that and click on it, and then click on Create.
I just got filled on. Hold on a second here.
This NASDAQ's looking great. I mean, it just hit that 21,400.
Well, yeah, I was going over take the short, but I actually got long new trading strategy. This is the called the
GEX.
back in black. Well, no, the sexy Gexy is an actual event here, but I'll take this one because of the propensity for these things to come back. We call this back in black. So we wait for a market to hit an important area. In this case, it hit the Gex 2, which is the second biggest options level. And then we take these ATRs coming back to the zone, and then we're out of the zone because of the propensity. So if that, if it dies, I'm still not short. I waited because of this, but I'm hoping it does this, comes back. Then I'm gonna get out of my long, and then I'm gonna go short. But
Nice.
position. So I have different trading strategies, right? So this one is a quick, more of a scalp, the reversion trade. Position trading strategies. I just showed you guys the profiles. Break out of the profile. I will go short this, but I'm hoping we get a bounce. And here's another thing too that you can watch part of the MBO package. This is the price change algo. So you can see here as it came down, and this price changed for quite a while, but you want to try, this can help you time your entries a lot better, where I saw this coming down here and this thing was price changing, and you heard me get filled, and I got right back out of the trade because these algos love to snap it back. So you can just, even if you just wait for this thing to fire off into your, I was supposed to get in there if you want to wait for the pop, because it almost always pops off of this stuff. I was showing it today. You can see another one happened here earlier. That's how incredible this thing is. This price change algo. You can see here it happened over here, and that led to that. So you can either wait for the pop and then get a better price. So instead of me filling down here at 0250, I could have jumped in right here, or wait for an opposing one and get back in the short. So there's a lot of different methods to enter here, but using this MBO stuff and the price change algo, the market pulse algo, it can really help you time your entries and everything else.
That
Right. So
that just is beautiful to see, because
especially at an important area too, right?
yeah,
Like that's the GEX level, and then you have the price change algo. So you know options dealers are going to be hedging there. You know these algos that do the price change are going to be there. So you got, I mean, it already has popped, 15 points. So it just makes sense out of what's happening in the market. Like, so many traders are blind on why the thing whipsaws back and forth, back and forth. Well, price change algo is a huge one, right? And then if you know these areas, then you know the dealers are there. So even if you're not trading the areas, you at least can make sense of what the market action is doing instead of thinking it's just randomness, because it's not randomness.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. No, it looks really good. So, um, and that was a nice segue into more strategies. And you've got really good new names of your strategies. I like them a lot. Um,
Yeah.
but
So and again, there's something for everything now, for everybody now, every type of trader, as far as my strategies, right? So the top of these are all position trading where we're going for bigger moves. Then you have the auto fade strategies. So that's the sexy gex I just talked about, where you get in immediately when you hear an SI event at a gamma level. And then we have the reversion trades, and this is a really good art trade, by the way, because you're not waiting for them to move out of the zone. And
right,
then we have the reversion trades for more scalpers that like those quick moves. All we're doing is waiting for a bound, at these 1, 2, and 3 ATRs and getting out back at the zone. So there's something for every type of trader as far as what they like to see mentally, right? Because a lot of traders can't sit in the position trades because, you definitely have to condition yourself. Most traders gravitate to scalping because it's just, it's against human nature to watch, especially if you got your P&L here, you're watching, you know, you're up a car, you're down a car, you're up a car, you're down a car. Most traders can't handle that action, right? So that's why most traders gravitate towards scalping, because it's just something quick where they don't have to be tortured, kind
right.
of like this, right? So my point is, to be a position trader and hold on for bigger moves, you got to condition. Most traders have to condition themselves to do that, and scalping is, the easiest mental method. But it's hard because you're trading against algos. So
Yeah, yeah. It's doing exactly
really,
what you
Nice.
thought. So yeah, you've really become quite the kind of borderline quant here. The way that you're
let's, let's not
cover,
get carried away.
covering these. I'm not kidding. I mean, this is great. I didn't know that you would come up with all these new strategies. So anyway, click on create there for the Trader Map Pro. Okay, and then
Sorry, Bruce. Before we'll go forward, just a quick note that the market pools price change is free for everybody forever, so everybody can use this. And yeah, it was a perfect example of the usage of market pools price change algo.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
giving away for free.
yeah. That one's
Yeah,
free actually.
yeah.
And
Here you go. Here, by the way.
the rest of
So
them,
this
like,
what?
yeah,
Sorry.
the rest of them, and like I said, and they're all pretty dang good. I mean, the pace of
Hmm.
tape, the volume pressure, the order book imbalance,
Hmm.
stop. There's stops and icebergs. There's also the absorption one, and yeah, they're all pretty great. I mean, there's just you just focus on one that works for you, like you did here with the price change one. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
you
now,
guys have
so,
taken this and run with it, Vadim and those guys. I mean, the market pulse. I will take credit for that because I asked you guys to build it, and you build it, and then you just ran with it. I mean, you got all these different algos,
yeah,
right? I mean, all
yeah,
of the incredible. My main two right now are just because I haven't used the other ones yet: volume, pressure, balance, and price change. But you have all these different ones that just give you such a advantage over other traders. Um, so
yeah.
here's a good example too. Here's another stopper too. By the way,
There's your
I
beauty.
should have gotten back in here, like I said on that. I was going to short it. It never
Yeah,
made it back to the zone for the scalp trade, but for the positional trade, this is exactly what I was talking about. You wait for that pop, you can wait for an opposing, and then hop in there. So I could have gotten in there, and I did not, of course, because that was an easy trade. And I don't like easy trades.
um, so
Go ahead.
go back to the add-ons, and we'll add this Trader Map Pro together for you. Okay, so yep, Trader Map Pro.
Where's it at? Here.
Okay, and then add. Click on add there. So you're in the NASDAQ. That's good. And then filter, and then bot remover, the one on the top there. Click on that one, and then now you've got this sensitivity slider. I was playing around with it this morning. I bring it up a little bit, like about halfway up there, right around there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then press play. Okay. So now it'll open it up as a new synthetic instrument on the right hand side. So you can close that window. And then click there, and there it is. Okay, so now click on that. Click on that instrument.
I'm just trying to get out of this. This is a live chart I got on here on a real account, so I got on not an Apex account, so I try not to get smushed on it. On here.
Guys over in YouTube, you're new to Bookmap, or try to get your questions in. In terms of strategy, though, Scott just went through a bunch. This is more about trying to get up and running with the MBO bundle of indicators here, and Q&A, because you probably, if you're new especially, you're going to have a lot of questions about this bundle. There's a lot of really powerful indicators in here, as Scott was showing earlier, and how he's got these setups based on them too. Okay, so please get your questions in. This is the time. All right, so let's see. Is that the okay? So that's not it. Yeah, go back to that one. So it should be. It's receiving data still. So hold on just a minute here. And
it takes a lot of time because you have a lot of data, it looks like, on the chart.
I only got about 20 futures products that I'm watching, so with market pulse and everything else on all of them. So, and now these price lines for all these gamma levels.
For how long?
Pardon me?
For how long? So
how long? What?
Like you have
for the day or for the week?
Yeah.
Oh, I restart it every day, but
okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think so. That's
I restart it every morning, but I still got a lot. I'm watching all these different products, and I've got everything on here. You see all these futures products. I got market pulse, and I got all these, all the levels for these GEX levels and everything else. So
nice.
It's actually performing pretty decent until right now, because it's freezing because this is downloading. But other than that, I haven't had many problems with it lately, which is a good thing. Until right now, of course.
Well, it could be the streaming software too. I mean, that's going to take up some of the bandwidth here, computer power.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's how you do it, it'll load pretty soon, but it will take out those two bots that are basically shadowing the market on the offer and on the bid. You've the beauty with the Trader Map Pro compared to the free version in Trader Map Lite is Trader Map Pro. You've got that sensitivity slider, so you can really kind of hone it to what you like. Whereas you don't have that option. You have just 3 kind of blunt settings in the Trader Map Lite. It works well, but you can refine it more with the Trader Map Pro.
All right, so this is totally frozen now. I'm trying to download
Yeah, we see that CPU usage is high, so it is shown in the right bottom
right,
part
yeah.
of the. Yeah.
It's red there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm downloading this Trader Map Pro stuff, or the light stuff.
Yeah, looks like.
Is it
let me know when the market is.
Is it frozen, or is it still downloading? Is it still downloading there? I mean, maybe
it says 91K on that, but everything is now frozen.
Okay. All right. Well, keep your screen, and I'll bring up mine. we can still take a look, and you can have Q&A on mine if you want, Scott.
Yeah, just take over.
Okay.
At least I can see where the marble is.
Yeah. Pop it back to the app. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you see?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, here, let me just show you the difference here. All right. So this is the ES, right? And I refined it earlier in today's webinar, but here's the regular ES. Look at that. You know, so it's like literally night and day here almost. This is so much better, so much cleaner. I mean, this is real liquidity up here. You can kind of see remnants of the bot, but it did a pretty good job filtering that noise out. And then here's the NQ, and yeah, you can kind of see. Well, I really filtered it here, but this is the default here. Okay, there's some high liquidity coming in that's doing a pretty good job, but you can see some of these other areas earlier, that bot is just like, you know, it's hard. It's kind of hard to see things. And then here's the Trader Map Pro version of it, yeah. Okay, so yeah, just I mean, these are sticking out way better. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, you can see it here. So that algo activity is gone, you can see these moves into the high liquidity in here, and high liquidity now here on the offer, just trading into it right. Here's the Russell, and then here's the Russell with the Trader Map Pro version. Okay, it too is looking pretty good here, trading into this high liquidity in here. If we got a market pulse event, let's see, I don't see any. I see very few stops here, but it's pretty good. I mean, heck, I'd even take a shot at that, to be honest. Let's see if we can get back up into maybe 2400 here. And retest that area, yeah. So that's the Trader Map Pro, and how you can use that. Yeah, I'm just gonna end this one here. Well, no, we'll give it one more shot. This is a very typical. One more push. We got now we have our extreme in the volume here, and it's just going against me. I'm looking for it to dip down, stop people out. I don't see the stop run in here. And then I'm looking for buyers to come back in and move it back up into some of these ranges, right in front of that high liquidity up at 2400 here. Okay. So it looks like it's just going to be, it's moving though. So we'll see if we get the move. Yeah, we got the market pulse event. We didn't get the stops though. So Scott, this is how you have to filter for the stops and the icebergs. You'll have to go into this instrument here with not the Trader Map Pro version, just the regular instrument, and then you got to go to your add-ons up here, and then you know, I used a filtering here, the automatic threshold. If you guys have any questions on that, you know, I don't know if you use this, Scott, for your filtering, but
Is that?
oh, it's great. Maybe I'll show it to you on the. I'm sure we demoed to you some years ago. We've had it for quite a while, but right now I'm looking at every single transaction of icebergs and stops, and I'm not seeing many here, actually, which is kind of funny. That seems odd. Does not seem right.
No, you still have this threshold. So
yeah, why? I deselected it.
yeah, you see this. You can disable this checkbox, automatic threshold. disable this.
Yeah.
But you still have this individual threshold above, so it is 13. So you can, no, this is aggregated and this is like, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So if you want to disable like any thresholds, so put 0 there, and aggregated threshold as well.
Yeah.
Like put 0 there.
Oops. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
now you have some.
Okay. Yeah. Now they're showing, and there's
This
quite a,
tend to stop soon.
and this one should be good though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's
This is
fine.
good.
Okay. Right. You just don't get many here, but this is the deal for the on chart. It has to be done in here on this instrument, and then it will show up automatically over here in your TraderMap Pro version. Okay, so when you come into TraderMap Pro, you likely already have it selected in here. No, I'm sorry, you don't even need to have it selected in here. It will show up automatically on the original instrument, and it just copies over here, as you can see. Okay, so anyway, that's the stops and icebergs. Scott, let's go through that for you. The filtering. I thought you were using that feature. I'll show it here to you. Okay, so for example, we'll have to look at the regular ES or the regular NQ. Why don't we just do the NQ? It looks better here. So we'll come back up here and look at the icebergs and on chart here. And let me try to move this away a little bit. And this is it's a really great feature that the developers put together. Very, very intelligent here. Is automatic threshold is based off of a time interval based off of the standard deviation over that time interval, and also a standard deviation multiplier. Okay, so that way it's always it will change over time. So this number will be automatically update over time. That's the beauty of using this standard deviation in here, okay, and a time frame. So if we use the filter in here, see how the individual threshold now says 9, but it's grayed out. Okay, so I can't put anything in there. Now if I deselect it, now it's still on 9, and I can input whatever I want, right? And now you can see there's no icebergs in here. Okay, if I go all the way back down, they start to pop up again, 8 and above. But if I use the automatic threshold here, it tells me it's going to be 9, and I can't change it unless I want to change my settings in here for standard deviation. Maybe I want to make it 30 minutes look back period. Maybe I want my multiplier. Maybe I see still too many, but I want to use 30 minutes. You can use your multiplier in here. So it'll make more, wider standard deviation, and then it will start to take out some of those icebergs. Any questions on that?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, it's a really, really great feature. So you won't see all of them though, right? It's going to filter them out. However, you can also note the this one here. You might see it kind of ghosted. I've got the filtered icons here with a transparency. So all those that I just filtered out, they're still going to show up if I let's just zoom in here. Let me take the heat map down. See this little ghosted, these little ghosted icebergs, or these are icebergs in here. Okay, 85% of it is, so it's just kind of a transparency. So you still can kind of see them if you want to.
You mean 85%? What does that mean?
Here, let me show you. So if I come back down here again, and guys, get your questions in. We're just, I mean, no pun intended kind of now. This is kind of just the tip of the iceberg, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of filters in here, a lot of different settings in here. That's why we had this webinar. So for example, let's go back here. Now I filtered these icebergs out. If I do you want to show filtered icebergs or not? Okay, I want to show them here, but I can also bring down the transparency to like 30. So see how they show up better now. We did this on purpose because a lot of traders, and it might have been including yourself, were they still wanted to see the icebergs, but they just didn't want to see. They kind of wanted to see it more in the background. They were less important. Okay, so now you can kind of see them, with the transparency, kind of filtered out. You can do the same with the stops as well. Okay, so let's go over to the stops and then show the filtered stops. Well, first off, let's filter them. And here we go. So now you can see we took out all of them except for this 19 that just transacted. Okay, and if we want to see more of them, though, we can kind of bring them up a little bit on the transparency. Okay, so it's a way of kind of reducing the noise, but still getting kind of insight to maybe some important information.
Got it.
Okay. And let's see here. So yeah, NASDAQ just kind of chopping right now. Boy, high liquidity in here. This was well, your setup was up here at the 400, right? Yeah, the 400. This.
Well, I didn't go short. I was supposed to go short there for one of my strategies, and then I was waiting for the pop, which I got, and then because we were talking, I didn't get it on.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you guys are looking at the hero, this is the spot gamma stuff. This is what's driving this move. This hero is just did a free fall of about 3.5 billion. So Brentford spot gamma talks about the notional importance. He says a billion is a lot. Well, it just dropped 3.5 billion. So that's why you got these algos and these dip buyers trying to buy here, but these dealers are unloading into the market. And I'm not talking about these levels. They at real time. If you got the hero, you can see it. It's literally the market. Both these markets are moving exactly with the hero right now. So
yeah.
It looks like it's stabilizing a little bit. So we probably will get the bounce. I'm still long this sexy Gexy right here in NASDAQ, but I never got my short on. I wanted to take in because again, I think overall these markets are going to get absolutely destroyed, and it's probably going to continue overnight because of the way the structure looks that I went over in the beginning of the webinar. But not to say we can't have some quick bounce here. And if the hero stabilizes, I think we'll bounce up to that other stop run to the near 22.5, 214 or 21,422 and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, yeah, you got a lot going on, but it makes sense though with this. I mean, the options are such an important part now. There's one thing I kind of wanted to go through. We get a lot of questions about with the stops and icebergs, with the parentheses and the number inside of it, and multiple numbers. So I don't know if you want, Vadim, we can go through maybe that and get some more clarity on here.
You mean different types, right, of detections?
Yeah, different types of detections and the different settings in here, because like we always get questions like immediately like, what's the E stand for? Well, that's easy. That means fully executed. And here's the we can see the whole evolution of the iceberg. It started here. They moved it down, and we have more transactions here. It started here. Let's just show the whole thing. Okay?
Yeah, can you zoom in?
Yeah. So here
it starts from D.
It starts from D, detection, right? And then you can see the transparency again. There's some other icebergs in here that were filled, but they didn't make it into the filter, or they were filtered out. So the other transactions, the T stands for transactions, and you can see as I zoom out, they become more aggregated, just so you don't see all of these things bundled up on the chart for yourself. But this is really interesting stuff. See how long they were in here, and when they start to move it, or they cancel it, or they fully executed. Now this guy, or this trader here, was fully executed. It's actually a 1,000 lot. here. Okay, so fully executed iceberg order for 1,000 lots. And we can go back up in here, and I know many of you, I think, Scott, you don't even look at the executions or the letters in here. You just want to know the size.
Yeah, it's just too much. I already got 5 million things on my heat map, so
Right.
yeah, I don't need.
Right.
I
I
just
mean,
want to know that
we went
I'm
through
shorted.
all of this in detail, like in Vadim and his team, to show you all these details. Okay, so for example, right now, this is a current iceberg, and you can see it's probably the same player. He's getting his size on. He got filled here, and then look at the moment he was filled, he put another iceberg in immediately down here. So that was 750 here that transacted there, and he put on another one 3 ticks lower, and that is still in the market right now. Okay, it was we can zoom in here and see all the details like I showed you before. But we know that 64 have transacted, and the last one in here, this parentheses and number 1, this means that the last one that transacted in the chain of events was only a 1 lot. Okay, so Vadim, maybe we can see another example though where we can we have multiple numbers and like multiple parentheses and things like that. Let's see here if we can show it. So anyway, here's how if you want to see the D for detections, then check the box for show detections. Okay, executions, same thing. Just check these boxes in here. And then the event type. So if I deselect it here, it deselects all of them, right? You don't see the event type at all. So it's kind of a master switch there. And that's it. You note that after each transaction, it's in parentheses. Okay, and that is carried over here as well. Okay, so 64 total have transacted so far of icebergs, but there is the last one that transacted is 1. And these ones here, they're much larger, as you can see, 320, 560. Okay, and then this actually was canceled. That's what the C was here. You can see it here. That price started to move away, and then this actor pulled it from the market, and we know that from the MBO data. Okay, it's just fact. Anyway, show iceberg numbers. This is another one. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so down here, for example, Vadim, this /2. This is in here. If we kind of zoom in, there's actually a number of icebergs that were actually transacting at the same price level. Yeah. Right? So if we zoom in, we filter them out now. That's what the two, sometimes you'll see this number really grow. You might see several, like dozens or 10 or double digits in here of icebergs that are transacting at the same price level. All right, so that should answer that question. So if you see 750 /2 and then parentheses, you know what's going on in here. In that scenario, Vadim, which it would it would be the latest iceberg transaction that it would show up. We don't know from what number of iceberg though, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So just the last transaction of all of them in here. Anyway, we get that question a lot, so I just wanted to kind of cover that with you guys. Here it is again. Here you can see detected. Here's 8. The last one that transacted was 8. So it was just 1, and it was detected, and then we have a /2. Okay, so there's actually 2 at that price level. And you guys can see the ghosted or transparent icebergs and stops in here as well. Vadim, any other tips and tricks that you kind of wanted to cover?
Yeah, I think you covered like most of them. I think we should answer like a few questions that we got from the chat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's.
So the first one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can read it. Yeah. So the first one, so it was related to the TraderMap Pro and icebergs. So we covered it like previously, but I would like to answer this once again. So yeah, you're right, guys. So previously, TraderMap Pro, it was not possible to use stops and icebergs on top of it, TraderMap Pro and TraderMap Lite. But with the latest versions that are already released, so please check that you are updated to the latest versions. You can use stops and icebergs on the original chart, so it will detect stops and icebergs events on the original instrument without filtered data, and it automatically show detections, stops and icebergs on TraderMap Pro or TraderMap Lite charts. So you don't need to do anything. You just configure it for the original chart, and it automatically appear on the TraderMap Pro and TraderMap Lite, and it is 100% accurate. So the same detections that you have on the original chart. Next question. Yeah, also related to the stops and icebergs. So stops and icebergs that was displayed similar to the time and sales. I'm not sure about that. So maybe like years ago we had this kind of thing. So to list all the stops and icebergs like a time and sales column in one list, but currently we don't have this. Yeah, and like if you want, you can request this feature on our forum. Like I'm going over the all forum feature requests like weekly. We aggregate them and we prioritize based on number of requests. So if you guys are interested in additional features, please go to our forum and request features, and we will be happy to implement those. Next question. Stops and icebergs via the broadcasting API. So this is for developers. We are sharing these detections of stops and icebergs via the programmatic interface, via the API. So we have special API for this called Broadcasting API, and currently only stops and icebergs on chart events are available via this Broadcasting API. So for now, stops and iceberg subchart events are not available, and we are working on this also. So I hope next quarter, like somewhere, like at the end of next quarter, we will merge stops and iceberg on chart and subchart into one add-on, and all of these events will be available via the broadcasting API for programmatic executions based on this, or like for any kind of other needs and so on. Next question: do you plan to incorporate the bot filtering directly inside the single instrument? So I'm not sure what this question is about. So we already have this filtration in TraderMap Pro, TraderMap Lite. So it creates additional like copy of this instrument. So the original instrument stays as it is without filtration, and you have additional instrument, additional chart with the filtered data. Yes. So next question. I have just joined Bookmap and wanted to know about what is stops and icebergs. So we have sessions like this often to cover all this stops and iceberg stuff, and we have knowledge base page. And Bruce, maybe you can tell more about how to go to knowledge base page and how to find additional data, additional information there.
Yes, absolutely. So to find out more information about these stops and icebergs, the best place to go is the knowledge base. Go to bookmap.com, click on the more button here, and you can go to knowledge base here. We also have a learning center in here with lots of videos, but this is the best place to go for the stops and icebergs. Once you're in the knowledge base user guide here, go to add-ons, and then you'll scroll down. You'll see stops and icebergs indicator on the subchart and on the on chart here. This will educate you on all the different settings that we've been covering, like detection and execution, cancel, etc. So read through this to better familiarize yourself. And like I said, we're having events every day, multiple times a day during this competition, because we knew there's going to be a lot of questions about this. And this is the time to answer those, and the time for you guys to try it out for free. So see if you like it, and if you like it, then get the discount of 50% off right now. Anyway, there's one more thing to show here, and this was a guide that we had a question about what is it. All right, this is a guide we put together. Like, look how old it is. This is the old Bookmap logo. Back in like 2015, we put this together. But it is evergreen and will still illustrates exactly what's going on in MBO, as well as MBO market by order data, as well as to illustrate what happens in the iceberg. So bear with me as we just go through this and see if you have any questions on this as well. All right. So sorry, Scott, I'm going to have to go through this a little bit more in detail for you. But let's go through it. This is your a stylized or diagram of your order book. Okay, you have your prices here. Look how old this is, like 2063 and a half here. And then if we zoom in here a little bit, you can see like actual, this is what MBO orders look like. You can actually see the number of orders, not just the size in here or volume for the price level. Okay, that would be market by price. So you would see in here, you'd see 60, right? 20, 50, and then 60. This 10, you would see this 10 as well. So you'd actually see 70 in here at this price level. However, you would also see 1, 2, 3, 4 with MBO data. There are 4 orders at this price level. Behind that, though, you do not see the rest of the iceberg. Okay, this is a 50 lot iceberg that's behind it. The first tranche is sent to the market here. So the tip of the iceberg shows up, and then there's still 40 more behind it. Let's suppose someone sweeps the order book. Someone sells, hits the bid hard, and trades into all of those orders. Okay, those 70 lots transact, and the next 10 from that iceberg is then sent to the market. Okay, and these are heuristic or they're native icebergs here for the CME. So we're not talking about like TT and being co-located next to the exchange. Those icebergs we cannot read. We can read the native ones to the CME though, and that's what we're showing in this example as well. All right, so the next 10 lot is sent. The next tip of the iceberg is sent to the market, and let's suppose that also trades. Okay, so or I'm sorry, let's suppose it hasn't traded yet. Okay, so now let's go through the next example. It is actually possible for others to come in between the queue here. It's possible. So you'll see that potentially, you and I or whomever may come in here and put orders in between that iceberg. Okay, because it's the order book, right? And these 10 haven't traded yet, so others can stack in here in front of that iceberg, right? So that's how it works. Let's suppose someone sweeps the order book of these 30 orders though. Okay, they sweep, they transact, the next tip of the iceberg, the next 10 lot is sent to the market. And that's how it works. Okay, and it works over and over and over again. Once these 10 that are remaining here, if price goes back up, you'll see that that from the iceberg detector that we developed, that 30 or I'm sorry, 20 have transacted. Okay, and we know that. So you'll see that 20 in here. That's what I was showing earlier, and we don't have any currently showing. But remember, we saw this 1700 in here. It was showing up or whatever it was. Now that actually turned out to be 2000, and it did transact. All right. So anyway, let me know if there's any questions on that. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but if there's more questions, I'll be happy to go over it tomorrow. We've kind of gone through our time here, so I don't know, Scott, did you have any more questions? Anything you wanted to go over? Or Vadim, is there anything else that you would like to cover?
Not specifically, but yeah, maybe I will like answer some of the questions that we have in the chat deeper after this webinar. So yeah, if you want, we can stay and I can answer in the text.
Ah, okay. That's very, very nice of you, Vadim. Scott, anything else you want to go through? Any setups that are kind of occurring here you want to cover?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've been kind of silent. I'm trying to trade this stuff, but let me just show something real quick so people can kind of understand. You see my screen or no?
No, not yet. It's trying. It's trying.
Once it stops streaming. Let's see.
There it is. Okay.
So first of all, when you get the hero moving like this, this is where you get these kind of moves, right? So the thing just went from 0 over the last couple hours to minus 5 billion. That is a lot. We've been seeing this more and more lately. The other day it was like 7 billion, but you can see these, these dip buyers kept trying to fight. This thing sat here for half an hour and then gave it up a little bit. I did just take a quick long here. This is one of my auto entry trades where I have two different auto entry trades where I get right when I hear the event fire off. One is the sexy Gexy, and that's at Gex levels. There's no Gex level here, but this was a tick extreme. So it doesn't happen that often, especially to the downside lately. But you can see here, as soon as I hear this thing fire off, so that's the biggest tick reading. A lot of times when you get these extreme tick readings, and especially if they're just few and far between, like there hasn't been anywhere near that today. That's the capitulation type of move, and then you get the bounce. So I did get long here. I'm not these markets. This is what I said at the beginning of the webinar, and I never got that short on that I wanted to get on. But this is exactly what this was looking like was going to happen based on the structure stuff. This tried to go this morning, selling tail, built balance, and right where we were getting on, it was breaking down from here. So this move is not surprising whatsoever, just from a structure standpoint. And then when you add on the hero stuff, this move makes sense. It's starting to turn around now, but I am long, and I will definitely. So this in there as I get out here, I'll definitely get out of half at this. I just put on another different trade here. But anyway, I'm going to get out of some of these right here back in this prior event because these markets have you got to remember, guys get run over in these areas, and when it comes back, it fails because they want the hell out of their trade. So it should be filled on this here momentarily. So that was just a quick kind of scalp long here. But I have another trade on where I'm trading a reversion trade back and see if it can come back to this event. But other than that, I'm going to watch. And buy ice has been coming this entire time. I mean, they've been trying to hold this up, and you can see here. This is I wouldn't say out of the ordinary, but you don't usually just see him put in for 25 points. But someone here is trying to hold this market, and it's not working out real well for him. And when you understand structure a little bit and the hero, so these dealers are hedging, and they're unloading in this market, these options dealers, you saw the hero, and someone's in here trying to buy this. So, icebergs have not been right so far. This is a great example too of paper's not always right. The big money's not always right. They've been buying this thing, not to say that this won't hold over, the next day or two, but they definitely came in here trying to buy it, and it's not working out right now for them. But you can see this market, these markets are in trouble it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see that once again. But what we talked about at the beginning of the webinar, this stuff's breaking down. It broke down through this. Any move back into these areas, I think, are really good short opportunities going into tomorrow and Friday. I think Friday's option expiration is the following Friday. But point is, structure looks bearish. But I'm a day trader. I'll trade longs and shorts. But if I get shorts, like I was saying at the beginning of the webinar, I'll trade double size. Other than that, I'm just seeing what happens here into the close. But this is, you're fighting this hero, and it finally is turning around. I kept thinking this was going to bounce a little bit earlier just because Mag 7 hero has kind of just been hanging there. So I think we might get a bounce now, but it's into the close. So I did take a tick-tock long, and that's all I took off of this event.
Okay. You'll be going through your setups and stops and icebergs on Thursday, as usual. The competition, guys, just started today, so go try. If you signed up for this competition, you will get free access to these MBO indicators, and you can then also sign up and get the deal with the 50% off. If you're not part of the competition, you can still get the deal. Obviously, just go to bookmap.com and click on the home page there, and that'll take you to the deal here. Okay, so just scroll down. You see the Cyber Monday, and you see the add-ons deal here. All right. Good stuff, Scott. Good trading.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Again, I missed that. Remember, we were talking about getting short over here earlier, and I was waiting for this price change bounce, and then we were talking, and I wanted to get in up here, and then I didn't get anything on, and then I missed the move down. But I did catch this long, so. And I do have a reversion. So again, these are different trades, guys. I know I sound like I'm like talking all over the place. These are different strategies, and if you do come in my room or watch the Thursday webinars, these trading strategies are not to take them all, right? Like these are more position trading strategies. Then we got the reversion. I went over this beginning of the webinar, but it's not to try to take all of these. These are mine. I can take them all because they're in my brain, but it's to figure out the kind of trader you are, and then take a couple of these and either trade them exactly like I do or put your own spin on them. But it's not. Don't get confused on the webinars, or if you come in my room thinking you have to trade every one of these, right? These are just all these are looking for volume events at important areas. And we've added a couple here that are, more auto trades and then reversion trades. But there's something for everybody, every type of trader on the mental side, if you come in there. So other than that, I'll be on Thursday morning at 9 Central.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thanks so much, Scott, for coming. Thank you, Vadim. It's late your time. It's almost 10 o'clock. Really appreciate it. And
Thank
Dan
you
too.
all.
Dan too, behind the scenes there. Thank you guys for staying late. All right. So Scott, we'll see you on Thursday, and good luck, guys, in the competition in the market, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Great. Thanks for having me, Bruce.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.